Well, hello everyone. My name is Marty DeGraff, and I'm the Industry Director for Government Education and Healthcare at Lexmark. And I'll be your host for today's event, introducing our newest solution, the Lexmark Translation Assistant. Before I introduce our main speakers, let's cover a few housekeeping items we want to make sure you're aware of. We are utilizing the On24 platform today, which has some great features built in. There's a Q&A widget where you can submit some questions to us. We may answer some of those as they come in, but most likely we will save the questions to the end. You can access resources such as brochures and presentations on the new Translation Assistant from the related content widget. And finally, don't worry about taking those screenshots during today's presentation. We will be providing this presentation to all of you on demand. Well, our translation solution began when Debbie Oliver, whom you'll meet in a minute, was speaking with her daughter, a first grade teacher, about the challenges she was having communicating with the parents of some of her students who are not native English speakers. She thought, wouldn't it be great if we could translate some of the documents these teachers need to send home for the parents so they can have a better grasp of what is going on at their child's school. Since then, we have had countless conversations with customers in all types of industries, not just education, but retail, government, manufacturing. Really, every customer we spoke with has had some need for a quick, convenient, and affordable translation solution. Today, we are happy to be launching this solution to you. We're going to begin with Eric McCann, manager of our software solution portfolio, who will give you an overview of the solution. We are also fortunate enough to have Michael Jones, a local principal here in Lexington. He stopped by yesterday and had a conversation with Debbie, and we recorded that. So we'll show you the recording of this of the conversation with Michael and Debbie about the impact this solution has had on his school. Then Debbie will give a demonstration of how the product works, and we'll wrap up with some of the Q&As. So don't forget to send those questions in via the chat feature. So now let me hand it off to Eric.
Thank you, Marty. As was mentioned, my name is Eric McCann, Software Product Marketing at Lexmark. I'm going to walk through the overview and intent of our translation solution and help you understand what challenges it addresses, what customers it's for, and what the overall functionality of the solution offers. We'll start by setting up the challenge, right? What is the challenge we're trying to address? In today's world, we live in an environment of digital information. Information in general is everywhere around us. But what if that data was not easily consumed? Some things that inhibit that: overcoming language barriers, budget constraints, and even lack of appropriate technology. What we see from the industry is over 21% of people speak a language other than English. 20% of people avoid healthcare because of a language barrier. And last but not least, 51% of school notifications are not sent in an understandable language. That is where this solution comes in. The Lexmark Translation Assistant is a convenient translation. It offers real-time document translation, translates into dozens of languages. You can print and share that translated document directly from the device or directly from the portal. And it is available as a subscription, so it can be implemented, it can grow across your organization and be used by every user of your organization. How it works. I'm going to walk through an overview of how it works before we look at a demo. This is how it works from the device itself. You will authenticate at the MFP using your badge or a PIN number. You will place the original document in the scanner. You will choose the Translation Assistant icon on the panel. You will select whether you want that document to be printed or emailed when it's completely processed. You will select your target language. And then you will view the translated document in the destination you chose. The key to this solution is not only does it allow for English source documents, but it also allows you to select various languages as your input or automatically detect them, whether you're using the printer or the portal itself. Once that document is translated, you have it in the destination in the desired output that you chose early on. How the portal works. Again, a very similar experience. One using the MFP, one using a portal on your laptop or PC. You'll authenticate at the portal using your credentials. You will choose the Translation Assistant link. You will upload the document you want for translation. You will select the target language. And again, here you will choose whether you want that to be directly downloadable or you want that emailed to you as your logged in user of the portal. And again, similar experience. You'll view that translated document as you expect to see it. Some real world use cases across industries, just to level set the expectations for the solution. We're going to talk a lot about education today with a real customer reference, but just to set these up. Education, what this solution means in education is better learning, right? Having information that's readily available and easily consumed. Healthcare, this means having information translated available in minutes when it's needed. Retail, allowing businesses to better reach their customers, right? This is an area of focus for retail, is how do they reach the end consumer where they are. And then government, right? We see a lot of use cases in state and local government being able to better serve its constituents by providing them the information readily available in the translation of choice. What are the overall benefits of this solution? Saves time, improves communications, it is an easy and convenient translation, and it helps overcome a language barrier and make information more readily available for every consumer. What are your next steps? As Marty mentioned, we have a plethora of information available as far as brochures, videos, real customer testimonials. Discuss the solution, discover what it can do, and then engage with your Lexmark representative to get access to even more information. And with that, we're going to hear from a principal here at a local school district in Lexington about how they're using this solution in their environment.
We're here today with Michael Jones, the principal of Mary Todd Elementary in Lexington, Kentucky. Mr. Jones has been kind enough to test our translation assistant at his school, and he's here to tell us about his experience. But before we start with your experience, Michael, please tell us about your school.
Okay, Mary Todd Elementary is a school of about 350 students. We're about 40 to 45% Hispanic, 40 to 45% African American, 15% roughly Caucasian. We're a Title I school. We have a whole myriad of programs that we offer at our school, and so, you know.
What percentage of the parents would you say don't speak English, or English is not their first language?
I would say probably about 50%. In
Okay.
addition to our Hispanic students, we also have a population of students from the continent of Africa. So they speak a variety of languages, so that adds to our need.
Right. So what are some of the challenges that you face every day in your school or with the district when it comes to translation services?
It's just the expediency of getting things translated. So if we have to send a document to the district to get translated, there's a cost involved. And then there's also the turnaround time. So there's nothing we can do on the fly. So the translation solution is kind of, it's been a godsend in that sense that anything that we need to send out, we can go down there, run it through the machine. 2 or 3 seconds later, I've got a document that I can share with the parent, send home with the student, post on the website. And so it's just been phenomenal in that aspect for us.
That's great. Great to hear. Has your staff said anything about this? Has it changed how they're communicating with the parents?
Oh, absolutely. It just makes that communication piece so much easier. And so schools like mine, and just every school in general, it's all about relationships.
Right.
So when you have to tell a parent, well, wait a couple days and I'll get back to you with something, that's not the best customer service model. So being able to turn things around in real time just makes that communication piece better, which makes the relationship piece better, which makes the school experience better for students, staff, and families.
Well, we keep hearing that teachers are reluctant to reach out to parents who don't speak English unless there is a human translator there standing next to them. So I would assume being able to send a note home in a backpack, you get response from the parents, if not immediately, at least the next couple of days.
Oh yeah, like I say, it just shortens that turnaround time, so from school to home, it's immediate, right? If something happens, Billy falls and scrapes his knee.
Right.
Susie didn't bring her jacket for recess. You know, you could write a quick note, translate it, it's in the backpack, it goes home, it goes home in the folder, and then the next day, Susie's got her jacket and Billy's got his Band-Aid on his knee, so
And everyone's happy.
yeah, everyone's a winner.
Can you think of any other use cases? I know that you have been translating your newsletters.
Yes.
You may have been translating instructions on how to get on Zoom calls.
Oh, yes.
Any number of things. Are there any other use cases that have been specifically helpful to you?
Yeah. So like the newsletter I send out, I translate it into Spanish, Swahili at times, and then just for actual instruction. So again, we have to produce a lot of documents for students, and being able to take that document to the translator, have it translated, and then to be able to produce a copy that a student can read in their native language is such a game changer. Because again, we're trying to teach the kids English, but the reality is that sometimes we have to scaffold to that. And so we need documents and lessons in their home language to get them closer to the standard.
Right.
And so, like I say, the translation solution has been wonderful in that regard.
Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Mr. Jones.
Thank you.
So we have had a couple questions already come in online, and while Debbie gets set up over there for the demonstration, let me go ahead and address some of these. So first, how many languages do we support on the MFP and the app? So I would say at this point, it's close to 100 languages currently. This list will obviously grow as the solution matures in the marketplace. So look for a growing list of languages as we go along here. But it's close to 100 currently, so we're extremely excited about that. And then second is around pricing. To be honest, your Lexmark contact can give you provide the exact pricing, but I will say it is a subscription-based usage, not devices or users. So it's very affordable for organizations. And again, it's for that quick and easy, convenient translation solution. So I think you'll be pleased when the pricing when you get that from your Lexmark contact. So I think Debbie is ready to go with the demonstration, so I think we'll cut back over to her.
I'm Debbie Oliver, Industry Consultant for Education and State and Local Government, and I'm going to demonstrate the solution for you. I'm standing with our MFP, multifunction printer. It is a floor standing model, but if you're stretched for space, the solution will work on a smaller device. The user can choose the Translation Assistant icon. At that point, they'll be asked to log in. So I'm going to put in my PIN number. Press OK, and it will log me in. Then we need to accept our terms and conditions. We'll accept the terms and conditions and move on to translate from. The reason we have a screen to translate from is because many schools and government agencies get documents that are in a foreign language and they need to be translated into English. In this case, we know the document's in English. We're going to hit next. And then I'm going to choose the language that I want it to translate to. I want it to translate to Spanish. Now we're going to translate a typical document that a teacher would send home in a backpack. In this particular case, they may have 4 students in their class that speak Spanish. So they'll make multiple copies of the same document. I'm going to choose whether I want to email it or print it. I want to print. Then choose the number of copies. And it will start scanning the document. Now, this is going to take 20 to 30 seconds depending on the complexity of the document and the language that the user chose. This is not a simple process. This is going up to the cloud, deconstructing the document, translating the document, and then putting it all back together again. At that point, it will tell you that the translation is complete, and it will print out. Right now it is downloading the translated document, and we will see it print. Here is the document that the teacher can put in the backpack, translated into Spanish, so that it can go home and the parents will understand what's going on in school. Now, I've shown you the translation solution on the MFP. I'm going to turn it back over to Eric, who is going to show you the translation portal.
Thank you, Debbie. Now we're going to take a look at what the portal looks like, which gives you a very similar experience, just using a different device. On the portal itself, you'll log in. You will see a card here for Translation Assistant. When you select on the Translation Assistant, you will be again prompted for terms of use. After you accept those, you'll see a very similar experience. Here, you're choosing a file. I'll choose this translation test. The portal itself will automatically detect the language that you're translating from. You then choose your destination language. In this case, I'll match Debbie and choose Spanish. And I have the ability to download, or that can be emailed to me as a logged in user. When I select Translate File, you get a very similar experience. We are processing the document, we are translating the document. You'll notice it still takes a very similar amount of time because we're performing the exact same operations, whether it's on the printer or through the portal itself. You can see here that I can now download that document, and now I'm ready to go. I can open that document and I can proceed with my purpose, whether that's sending it home with a student, sharing it with someone in healthcare, or providing it to a constituent at state and local government. Now that we've went through the overview, we've had some demos, we've heard some real-life customer examples, we'd like to hear from you. Feel free to use the question and answer widget on the On24 platform. Submit your questions, and Debbie and I will be happy to take a look at those, answer as many as we can, and the ones that we can't get through today, we'll follow up with you either through your Lexmark representative or through email.